In a game that was never out of Washington's control, Myisha Hines-Allen and your Washington Mystics with a confident, aggressive win against the Atlanta Dream, a team that they will be seeing next on their schedule. But we've got today's game to break down. Final score was 109-86. I repeat, 109-86. The most points scored by the Mystics.
Second quarter.
Hey, woo, Coach, that was a 35-point second quarter. That's Coach Jimmy Patsos. I'm Wes Hall. We'll be joined by Megan Christie and, of course, Myisha Hines-Allen and Tiana Hawkins as well. But, Coach, I want your thoughts on how big of a win this game was for the Mystics, considering this is the first time that they were back in the court after losing Shakira Austin in that game against New York.
You know, when you coach a long time, you look at the best player, and when your best player is your hardest worker. Delle Donne was out there watching video. I talked about that with Coach Tebow. Went through a really full-speed workout before the game, then gets up to the podium and says, this is an important game. We got to do this because Shakira's out, but we got to take care of business. We're coming off a loss. See, her approach to me is outstanding. Then she produces with 25 points. Yeah. Coming out of the second, her out-of-bounds plays, she was flawless. She scored on those. And then she comes out of the half, hits Ariel Atkins for 2 threes with extra passes, one double team. That's your leader. That's your best player. Yep. When your best player is performing at this highest level, everyone else comes along.
Indeed,
so it's easier for Hines-Allen and Hawkins to say we're on board. Ariel Atkins is shooting the ball better. Cloud's energy. Sykes, I'm a big fan.
Oh, of course.
Just makes stuff happen all over the place. But it was Elena Delle Donne's performance mentally, her approach to the game from the start all the way through, even feisty at the end.
There you go.
I like it. Go get the technical. That's all right. Because they got to beat this team next. But her approach filtered down to everyone. Every other player was feeding off her. I thought she was just outstanding all-around game tonight.
Leading Excellent. From the front. EDD, indeed. Let's bring in Megan McPeak and Christy Winter-Scott and get their thoughts on things. I'm going to Christy first on this one. Christy, we talked in pregame about what this team is going to have to do in the absence of Shakira Austin offensively and defensively. Offensively, 6 players in double figures, 4 starters in double figures, EDD with 25. What say you about the offensive performance from Washington tonight?
Well, for me, it was all about the bench play for Washington. They had 32 points off the bench after coming off of that New York game where they lost in overtime. They were 3 of 10 from the floor off the bench for only 7 points. So tonight to have 32 points, they needed the collective effort, but they also needed the production on the defensive end, and they got both from Washington tonight, especially in the second quarter alone. You see the extra passes being made. You see the intentionality of getting the paint threes, and you see them having fun while operating together with 22 assists tonight on 39 made shots. This Washington Mystics team was in a rhythm and in a flow. They were in a mode, and Tiana Hawkins came in and did her work early. She had a double-double once again tonight, but she was working hard, but they all shored up in the absence of Shakira Austin, the double-double machine that Shakira Austin is. Everyone else came in and did their job tonight on both sides of the floor, and you just love to see that kind of production from the Mystics after such a disappointing loss on the road in New York.
Megan, one of the things that Washington really improved on while Christy was talking, I looked down just to make sure my eyes weren't lying to me. 11 for 22 from behind the arc. We know Ariel Atkins got activated. I think everybody got the memo. Let it fly, right?
Listen, everybody got activated, including Myisha Hines-Allen, who was also 3 for 4 from beyond the arc. When you think of the fact you go to New York, you go to overtime, you don't get the dub, you've got to come back and reset. And you reset from beyond the arc. Ariel Atkins was phenomenal in New York and followed it up here again this evening. But it was a collective effort from everyone. The ball was moving. When you think of the fact as well, too, 26 assists on 39 made field goals for this Mystics team. They were having fun, as Christy said. It wasn't just the players on the floor having fun, but it was as well, too, the players on the bench. Keep in mind, they only had 9 active players and available players for this ball game. And I want to also touch on one more thing, Wes. When you think of the bigs, Christy was giving them love. They combined for 57 points in the absence of Shakira Austin. That was a factor we said need to be a collective effort.
Yep.
Coach, those bigs, like Megan said, they brought their A-game too. Everybody got involved.
Well, it's good when you know you're going to play, too. You say, oh, you know I'm getting my minutes, which brings confidence. I just thought the energy in the building was great. The commissioner was here. We got to meet her. Commissioner Engelbert was great. But this is a game to make sure we separate ourselves of where the Mystics because the Dream's not that far behind. In other words, there's tiers in the league. And I thought the Mystics established themselves, and we're going to talk, they're going to play Atlanta next.
Yes, yes.
And they did that to the Sky. They won the first one, and the Sky said, oh, we'll get you back. Well, the Mystics ran out to a 27-9 lead. We did that game in studio. Now they have to go on the road. Sometimes you have 2 in a row on the road. Sometimes this is a split. And if I'm the Mystics, I just love the attitude of we're separating ourselves from you. We're going to go down there and get you again. But also, remember, the playoffs are 1 through 8. So 1 through 4, regardless of East or West, play at home. And that's important in the first round. And this veteran team knows it. Hines Allen takes advantage of her opportunity. Zowie B hits a 3.
Come on.
Hawkins has experience.
But
She
Coach,
can step up.
but we were sitting there, you and I were sitting there watching the game, and I asked you, I said, Coach, you're a coach. That's why I call you coach. And I said, if you have a game where one of your most important players goes down, is it not the best case scenario to have a home game following that to be able to reset everything?
It's much easier at home. You're in your routine, absolutely. And Delle Donne knew how important it was to get off to a good start without Shakira, and we said before. Lee Mung is playing well in the Asia Cup, the Asia Pacific World Cup. She had 28 points. This will all benefit the Mystics down the road. Hines Allen, I've been a fan from the first time I watched her play. Love her versatility.
Yeah.
Can play a little in and out. To go 3 for 4 from behind the arc. This is going to serve the Mystics. This is not a rebuild. This is not, we're trying to make the playoffs. This is championship aspirations.
This team has aspirations.
We want to beat the Aces in the final. Remember, it's 1 through 8, regardless of East or West. So it's a different. Well, they just made sure the Sky, Chicago, last week knew it, and now they can show the Dream. No offense, you're in that. We're over here, and we just lost by 1 when one of our players got hurt to Liberty, who's probably the second. We're second or third best team. This is establishing a home court thing. I think that's really important.
No,
like you said,
absolutely.
We're going to play well at home, but we need you players to play well at home because one of our best young players is out.
Mystics are now 5-2 at home. Overall, Entertainment Sports Arena down in Southeast is a great place to play. Christy and Megan, we appreciate you as always. Before I let you ladies go real quick, Christy, just one quick lesson that you learned about Washington today, considering that they were down Shakira Austin.
They had guts, and they also out-rebounded Atlanta by 15 after being out-rebounded by 15 in 3 of their last 5 games. I'm sorry, it was a plus 14 today, 35-21. So I thought that they did the work necessary on the interior, kept them off the glass. It was a 16-11 advantage in second chance points for Washington. Took that production piece away from the Dream, and I thought that was a huge piece. They're going to need to do it again, obviously, when they head down to the ATL.
As they say, rinse and repeat. Ladies, we appreciate you as always. Megan and Christy, enjoy yourself until the next time we see you on the screen. Coach, you and I, we get to hang back, and I get to ask you a question about something that I find rather important to me, and that is overall team energy. I know you said the energy in the building was right, but you could feel the energy from the players. They understood the assignment, as the kids say. They knew the assignment, and the assignment was go out and beat the teams that you're supposed to beat, Coach.
That's a mature playoff team. You're getting ready for a team that's not as good as you know. We're not letting them hang around. And early, the Mystics, they had a couple of turnovers that could have gone either way. And don't think that Atlanta didn't say, oh, Shakira Austin's out. Let's jump them. Let's get on this.
Right.
We'll get the win, and then we'll come back and we'll sweep them. This is 2 competitive teams. Atlanta huddled up right after the game. Pretty close-knit huddle there. You know what they were talking about. They got us. We're going down to protect our home court. This is how good teams act. But the Mystics are the better team. They're a more experienced team. They have a 2-time MVP. I said it before. I thought Delle Donne's approach from when I walked in the building at 5 o'clock was fantastic.
Yes.
That's 2 hours before the game. She was laser focused. Coach Tebow's like, I got to go pay attention because she's giving me the scouting report.
So
when that happens from your best player, everyone else knew the seriousness of this game.
Leading from the front. Some people say you can lead from the back. No, you got to lead from the front. Elena Delle Donne does that with 25 points in front of to lead all scorers.
I know it's the hockey draft, and I'm sure the Capitals will find out who he is.
Yeah, we'll talk about it in a minute.
They drafted, all part of Monument. Michelle Freeman's watching down the beach. We're all one big happy family.
Yeah.
They know the importance of this game.
Yes.
But when your best player leads like that, and this is a playoff aspiration type attitude, everybody falls in line.
Everybody does, indeed, and that's what we appreciate about this team. It is a collective effort for success, including Tiana Hawkins, who also put up some numbers tonight. Oh, by the way, Hawk was in the starting lineup tonight. What'd she finish with? 13 points and 11 boards. She's going to be joining us here in a moment on Postgame Live. And, oh, by the way, speaking of the Caps, Coach, look at you knowing exactly what's coming up with the 8th
because Delle Donne had so many hockey assists. She had the pass before the pass.
Well, with the 8th pick of the 2023 NHL Draft, the Washington Capitals proud to select Ryan Leonard. Of course, all of your Caps info, of course, at NBC Sports Washington. Make sure you give him a big round of applause and welcome to the Monumental Sports family.